Hello and welcome to a cool, crisp, frosty November morning here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Yep, we had quite a hard frost last night and I've just changed for my woolly hat because the sun is coming out now, nice blue sky, but earlier it was a hard frost everywhere, and as you can see the frost on the ground there in the front garden, all over except for the sunny bits, and here on the where I've got all this cardboard and stuff, we've even had a bit of snow last night, a few snow pellets, and they've stuck around. So winter is definitely on its way, but that's not stopping me getting out and about, because it's not cold, you're just incorrectly dressed, as my old expedition instructor used to say. So I'm out here, my greenhouse is just on this side, so I'm on the sort of the side of my house, and this is a bit of a scrub area that's just I've let sort of lay arable, shall we say, in between my orchard on that side of the hedge and obviously the greenhouse that I built a couple of years ago on this side, and I've just let it be a bit of a dumping ground over the last few years. But I've had this plan in my head that I want to create a cool green garden, or a non-flower garden, in this area here. So that's what I'm about to start doing. I haven't got written down the actual plan, and I'll start doing that today. But what I am going to be doing is, as usual, creating most of it with no dig, because it's really hard, scrubby ground, lots of rocks in there. So I don't want to be digging all the weeds up, etc. Much easier just to lay some cardboard or these double paper leaves refuse sacks. I'm going to lay them down, and as you can see, this big pile of cardboard here, lay all that down all around as much as I can. I've been saving up my cardboard, so lay that all around and then put earth on top, and that'll be the basis of my non-flower beds, my plant beds to come. I've also, one thing I may not have done the actual plan, but one thing I do know I want a bit of a pond in here. I think I want some sort of raised pond that I'm going to create to add to that sort of. This is going to be like a calm area, you know, all the different greens and just the different colours of plants without flowers. So I want to keep it nice and calm here, and when the sun goes across on the south side there, this area often becomes a bit shady as well, so that it would be a nice place to sit in the summer when it gets really hot. And with some sort of pond, raised pond here, that'll add to the cooling, calming effects, I think. So that's sort of my general introduction to this project. I'm just now getting on with laying down these bags. These are all old bags. My mate Joe just came round with a load of these bags of leaves. I think it was like something like 8 bags of leaves that he's given me, which is I was very grateful anyway. Never have too many leaves. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to start laying down this cardboard, etc. And before I lay it all down, obviously I want to do a bit of a plan. So I'm going to measure it out in a minute, get a good measurement, and then I'll show you sort of what my general plan is, and then I can start carrying on with the refuse sacks and the cardboard down. And I've got a big pile of earth from earlier on in the summer that I haven't used up yet, so I can start to lay down the earth already and get the project going. So welcome to my sort of my autumn winter new garden project, and hopefully over the next few episodes we'll see a nice little new garden come up from the ashes. Any ideas for really good, actually that's a good idea, any ideas from some nice plants with good stature, good form, interesting leaves or something like that, something that will last through a Nova Scotia winter. So I think we are, what are we, zone 6, something like that. So it gets down to -20 sometimes in the winter, so quite a few plants to choose from. But any ideas, give me a shout, put it down in the comments, and and I'll have a look. Could be interesting getting all these different shapes of plants in there. Anyway, I'm going to stop gabbling and get doing, and I'll see you back in a minute. So I might not have my design all done for the new garden, but one thing I do know is before I put all earth down here, I want to get a nice layer of mulch all the way along the underneath the hedge here, the privet hedge, so that I can protect all the roots, stop all weeds coming up. And then if I do it now, I won't be sort of disturbing all the earth and treading on it and firming it down. So I'll get it done now, and then that'll look nice and protect the roots, etc. And I won't be walking over the earth. So I'll get on with that now. A nice couple of inches of this is bark chippings that I had left over from last year. So a nice, quite rotted down as well, these bark chippings, and yeah, all the way along. Hello, so here we are a couple of days later, well probably about a week later. I haven't done stacks, ain't got a lot of time now with the sort of between finishing work and then literally half an hour and it gets dark, but I've done a little bit. I haven't got much earth left now, so I have to, this is about all I've got for the minute. So as you can see, I've just started putting all that cardboard down like I said, and earth on top, so I'm getting a bit of a bed. I've tidied up this area here, and what I've done and sort of tidied up the area and collected a bit more cardboard. Fortunately we bought some furniture from IKEA, so that's always handy for cardboard there. Anyway, back to the actual job in hand. Thought more about the actual design, and during the week in the evenings I've been working on that, having a look at different bits and bobs. And remember, I am just doing different foliage, green and sort of reds, etc. No flowers at all in this garden, so that's what I've been thinking about during the week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a hedge, just sort of like that privet hedge, along the front here, so that when eventually when it matures, you'll walk along the path and you won't know what's behind the hedge until you come to this opening sort of here, and there'll be what will there be? There will be an archway coming in here, and then the path will sort of arch round this way. And the reason I don't want a straight path is because when you come in, I don't want you to be able to see exactly at the back there, because that's where the seat is going to be. You might see a roof or something, but I don't want you immediately be able to see, obviously, the hedgerow there, that there's going to be a covered seat at the back in the corner. So I'll have sort of high plants on this side here, and you'll curve round here, and then it'll open up in front of you. In fact, let's have a little look on the design that I've been doing on my laptop. So here is my design. I've done it on a simple garden planner software. It's called Garden Planner. I quite like it actually, because it's quite easy, and it was pretty cheap. It was only about $40 odd, and I can do sort of veg designs, and it's got selections of different flowers, basically in 2D, but yeah, pretty simple. So looking at the actual garden itself, if we look on the right hand side is the greenhouse side there, and then obviously the left hand side here where the hedge is, to the left of that is the orchard, and at the bottom of the screen is where the house is. So I would enter the garden from there, and there's that little archway that I said, and immediately to my right is the water butt, the water receptacle, and I want to be, that's not the most good looking piece of kit in that area, so I want to be covering that, and I'll probably have some sort of bamboo, clump forming bamboo. Don't want anything that has runners, because that can sort of end up taking over the place. So some sort of clump forming bamboo would be good there to hide it. And as I said, you know, when let's do the basics of the garden first. Obviously, yeah, we've got earth and the path, keeping it cheap. I've got lots of mulch, lots of bark chipping, so I'm probably going to use that, and that's easy to, you know, replenish because I've got lots of trees and a shredder, so I can make bark chippings quite easily, really. So that's the path. The edging's going to be stone again, because you know I'm always digging stone out of the garden, so that's again a nice, easy, cost-effective edging for me. And then there's the pool there. Not sure what I'm going to make that out of yet. I've got to research that. But like I said, that's going to be a sort of raised pool, I think, pond. And then the covered seat, which will have a wooden shingle roof like my one in my orchard. So these are the sort of the major hardscaping parts of the actual the garden itself. So like I said, I don't want, you know, when you come into the actual garden, I don't want to be, you know, be able to see all this sort of area, the pond and the seat, etc. straight away. I want you to invite you in there and say, oh, you know, what's around that corner? So I'm gonna have a bit of a curve round, and on this left hand side here I might have some, again, high bushes of some sort, or bamboo again, just so that you can't immediately see on this area here. Obviously, you know, when you first do the garden you will be able to, but when this hedging at the bottom that I'm going to put in as well, when that gets more mature, probably privet again, then you won't be able to see, you know, after a few years, until you actually walk in. So you'll walk in the garden, and then you'll go around the corner, and then it'll all sort of open up in front of you. It looks a lot bigger than it actually is, doesn't it, with all the gear there. But the other sort of thing, like I said, no flowers. So the interest has got to be the colour of the leaves, the shades of the leaves, the shape of leaves, etc. You know, the different pointy leaves, big sort of luxurious leaves like the banana. So I'm going to have a couple of banana plants there. I've got those on my pool deck, and so I'm going to buy another couple, and sort of I take them in every year over the winter, and they grow back nicely. So I'll have a couple of them to add a nice bit of a tropical feel around the pond area. But lots of different colour leaves. So at the front I'll be looking at hostas and things like that. You know, you get some nice variegated hostas, the blue hostas, and they can grow quite big, so they can go the second layer. Grasses, lots of, like the, what's this one called? The old Japanese forest grass. This yellow stuff is, I think's really nice. So I'll try that. Then we've got the blue fescues and this black mondo grass, and I'll try and repeat that. You know, a bit of an area of that, and then another bit of an area of that, so we get that repeating sort of look around the garden, get a bit of continuity around the garden. And then we'll have the odd spotted sort of centerpieces here and there, like the old burning bush, those burning bushes, that's nice. Or in the winter at the back here, well, I've got these red dogwoods, the cornus, the red and yellow cornus, and that will provide a bit of winter interest when you go in there, as well as things like some conifers or some, you know, a set of different round box, different sizes, and that'll look good. I haven't got all of the sort of the bushes sorted out that, you know, that I want to have, the shrubs, etc., but just the different feels of shades and colours, and the sizes of the leaves and shapes of leaves. So like I said, any ideas that you guys have got, put it down in the comments. That would be absolutely fantastic. It'd be good to be able to incorporate some of those into the design. And then a couple of things I definitely want, and although they're quite expensive, are the small Japanese aces. Some nice Japanese aces I can put in there. Like a particular favourite of mine is the Palmatum purpureum dissecticum. So the purple dissected leaf ones. They're always nice. So I'm going to get them in a couple of different of the protected areas. So there we go. There's my general feel of what the garden is actually going to look like. A nice little curved path, a secret sort of garden at the back there that you'll have to enter into the place, and walk forward to actually see it. Again, mostly, no flowers, and that's it. Let me know what you think. Any other ideas? It would be fantastic, especially on plants, and we'll see how it turns out. So this is that view you'll get from the seat. The sun will be going across there, so you'll often have a nice warm sun on your face, and the pond will be here, so you'll be looking out onto the pond, but behind there's the sort of ugly water butt and the back of the greenhouse. Now I'm going to be putting cladding that with pallet slats and maybe painting the greenhouse, so I'll be tidying that up, so that'll look nice. But I want to find, like I said, something there, maybe some bamboo, clump forming bamboo. Don't want any of that running bamboo stuff. Something like that that'll grow nice and high, that'll cover that water butt, or I might just put an easily removable trellis around it and grow something up that. But obviously I'm sort of half limited myself in that I don't want any flowers in that area, but maybe some ivy or something like that. But so that's what I'll be looking at onto the pond here, and we'll have all the nice plants, the big planted area on this side here, and yeah, so that is the perspective that really I want to be looking out onto the garden from that seat behind you, or sort of in your position, looking out, and the most of the planting will be that side. And as the sun is not much on that side, that's why I've got we'll have more of a narrow bed on that side, and be more sort of hostas and some ferns and things like that. But that's still to come. I've got the general idea. We're working now over the next few weeks to get some more cardboard down, get some earth down, and that'll be my next update. Let you know when I've got to clear this area behind you where the seat is going to be and where this pond is going to be, flatten it out a bit so that so it's not all wonky. Anyway, there we go. Jobs are good and so far, all exciting. A long winter, not going to be able to do loads of stuff, but we'll see how I get on. Depends what the weather's like. Jobs are good. See you soon.